Help me out here.
Oh, bro. Hello. Check. Hello. Hey there, beautiful people. How we doing today? Dude, I'm feeling good today. Nobody asked you, Zach. Well, you know what? This is a self-conversation right now. Because we don't have guests. Because no one wants to be on this podcast, okay? It's fine. We'll get through it. It's all right. God loves you, I think. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it does. To some people. All right. Welcome to this podcast where I talk about things with myself. Me, myself, and Zach. Hi. Dude, I feel good today. It's a wild day. It's really nice outside in Nashville, Tennessee. It's sunny. There's a little breeze. There's an old lady named Judy right across the street who walks slowly and talks to me about cardboard boxes. And I met her the other day. She's so sweet. And I asked her if she needed help carrying stuff, and she didn't. She's capable. She's strong. And but she's a new friend. She doesn't remember my name, but I remember hers. So I was like, "Hey, Judy," today, and she's like, "Who's there?" That's literally what she said. I was like, "Hey, Judy." She goes, "Who's there?" I was like, "It's Zach." Come on, bro. Sister girl. She's a nice lady. She'll get my name someday. Actually, she's moving out of the complex, so friendship over, I guess. But you know what? God bless her either way. Guys, thank you so much for becoming patrons. If you're watching this video, that means you're a patron. And here's why. So I actually am only putting the video podcast on the Patreon now. The audio podcast will still be on iTunes, Google's, Spotify's, any platform where you listen to podcasts, it's most likely there. And the video podcast is only on Patreon. And basically, I just wanted to be able to make it special for people who are patrons. And I feel like, oh man, I got so much to update you guys on. I'm excited. Basically, I got some advice from a friend recently who is a full-time YouTuber about my channel, and he gave me so much good advice, and it's really helping me tweak everything and really push it hard this year the right ways. Because ever since I told you guys about like this big plan I've come up with, I've been creating so much content, and it's good. People are liking it, but it's not really... all of it is not really content that's gonna grow my channel. Some of it is like just for the people who are already here, and some of it's kind of just for me. And last week we kind of talked about selfishness a little bit, and it was really interesting because right after I posted that episode, I got such good feedback from a few people. Like one guy commented on the video on YouTube, last week's podcast, and was basically like telling me I make a lot of content for me. It's like the stuff I really want to make, and it's building a really like dedicated audience, but it's gonna go really slow because I don't really have an audience. So he was saying like you should do more filmmaking stuff to grow your audience. And I was like, man, that's actually a really good point. And then I get this random call last week. I mean, it's not super random. I know him. His name's Dave Mays. He is he's the host of a YouTube channel called Kinotika. And him and Connor are two friends that I've met in Nashville. They just moved to Los Angeles a few months ago. They're full-time YouTube with the Kinotika channel. So they're out in LA making waves, I guess. They're doing really good. Their channel, like, when I met them, I think their channel was like below 10,000 subscribers, and now they're at 55,000. Like, and I met them this past summer. So they're blowing up real quick. It's really cool to see them doing well. And Dave called me just to give me advice. He was like, I answered, and he was like, "Hey man, I've been seeing your content all over my sub feed like crazy, and I've been like looking at it and just wanted to like tell you, I feel like there's a couple things you could change that would really help you grow." And he was like, don't take this the wrong way. You're making good stuff. And I was like, no, man, seriously, like, I want this. And I told him, I really want this advice, like, because I don't have anybody else in my life that's really like a full-time YouTuber that like I can kind of like look up to and be friends with. There's a couple people, but Dave and I have been talking quite a bit, so it's just cool to like have somebody like that to look up to. Like if you're good at basketball, like you have people that you look up to, or video games or working out or anything, like it's nice to have somebody you can look up to and like actually have conversation with. They're not just on TV or distant, like you can actually call them up. It's really cool. And basically he said pretty much what that guy said in the comment section on the last podcast. He just said like, you're basically portraying yourself as a YouTuber with 2 million subscribers. All of your content is like similar to like how Casey Neistat or Peter McKinnon, if you know those YouTubers, similar to how they do their content, where they already have an established audience of millions of people, so they can post themselves drinking coffee and talking for 5 minutes and get 500,000 views like in the first couple days. Whereas if I do that, I don't have a big enough audience where I'm going to get thousands of views, and that kind of content won't really like drive new traffic to my channel. And it kind of just like blew my mind, because it's like I kind of felt like I knew that, but it's like I just needed somebody to tell me that. And then everything, it just like clicked when he told me that. I was like, oh my goodness, like everything I'm doing is for me right now. I need to be using the skills I've acquired in filmmaking to give something to YouTube, to give something to these millions and millions of people on this platform, to hopefully connect with them and build an audience, so that one day I can put these podcasts and my goofy vlogs and my stupid green screen videos, like, so I can put those like on my channel, and there's already an audience there that will view that and allow me to have a career doing that and stuff. So, oh, dude, it was just so eye-opening, and I'm so thankful. I don't know if Dave watches this, but thank you, Dave. You're a good guy. So yeah, I'm just really stoked that he was kind enough to take time out of his busy schedule, because he's not just a full-time YouTuber, he's a full-time podcaster now. Like he gets paid full-time to be a podcaster, a YouTuber, and he's a dad and a husband living in LA. So he's a busy guy, and he's like, I'm going to call this guy with 7,000 subs and just wreck his life in the best way. So, dude, I was just so thankful that there's amazing people in this world that care about other people other than themselves. And that inspires me to want to like care for other people too. Like when I get into a position where I can help other people, that I'll remember that kind of stuff and like help out somebody else grow. And I'm just so thankful. So stoked. So yeah, the video podcast is now going to be on Patreon only. The audio stuff is going to be everywhere. And most of the viewership comes from iTunes anyway. So if you're listening to this on iTunes, please consider becoming a patron. You hear me speaking to your ear holes? I see some wax in there. And I feel like a Patreon subscription could clean that out for you so you could hear a little better. But don't put yourself in a bad place either, because I know what it's like to be a Baroque, okay? Still got no car. But it's okay. We're doing fine. So yeah, Patreon is awesome. I think we're up to 24 patrons now, which is mind-blowing, because I think it's only been up for a week. It's just crazy. Like, I feel like if we can get to 100 people, it'll basically become my full-time job, just to make stuff for you guys and then make stuff for YouTube as well. And we'll just see where it goes, you know? It's just a learning thing. We're just learning as we go. And that's something I wanted to encourage you guys on this week and hopefully inspire you a little bit. Like, sometimes you got to start something before you have it all figured out. Like, I would never know to make these adjustments to my YouTube channel to start growing it unless I was already just making stuff and putting it on the internet. So that I eventually met Dave because of a camera video, and because I'm in Nashville. I made a vlog about Nashville, and he found me through GH5 videos and my Nashville video. So like, me just making this silly content like actually created a beautiful like friendship that's leading to me like growing this channel into something like for realsies, Beelsies, Jessica Beelsy bub, Jessica Beelsy. But it's just so cool. So if you have something that you've been wanting to start for a long time, let's just freaking go for it. Let's just get it, boy. Let's dive in. I'm diving in. I'm going deep. That's Stephen Curtis Chapman. That was the first song I ever had on my iPod Nano, 1 gigabyte. Stephen Curtis Chapman, I'm diving in. Go look it up after this and frickin' jam it, boys and girls. It's a rockin' tune. Oh, man. I'm loving this. I'm loving this weather. I got my window open so I can smell the fresh breeze. It's beautiful. The trees are starting to bud. It's nice. It's been raining for a month, and I do like rain, but I also like a little bit of sunshines. Counseling's going well. I've talked about that with you guys a little bit, and I kind of want to share a little bit about what's going on there. It's just, it's really helpful. It's interesting how it works. But I'm going into it with a really open mind and knowing that I have issues and I want to grow. Not taking the pity route, not trying to hide stuff from my counselor or anything, but like just I want to get better, I want to grow, and it's making my life better. It's just giving me better headspace, better ways to think and handle situations, and showing me what I'm very weak at in my relationships and situations. And so I talked about how I like struggle with anger and like being defensive really quickly and stuff like that. And some resources that my counselors helped me with is basically told me like in our personalities, we have the core self, which is like who we are at our best, our finest, like our compassion and our love and our authenticity and creativity. That's our core self, like us at our absolute best. And then there's these other parts of our personalities called managers, and then another part called firefighters. And basically the firefighters are in charge of defending the core self, and an unhealthy firefighter basically, dude, I almost just had some snot shoot out of my nose. God bless. An unhealthy firefighter basically becomes defensive too quickly and tries to protect the core self from re-experiencing past pain that's created like trauma in our life. So that's where my issue is my managers and my firefighters are working overtime to protect the core self from experiencing trauma. And it's basically like I'm just kind of living in either a state of anxiety, like with the manager overriding, or like anger and defensiveness with the firefighter overriding. But in reality, I know that I can handle pain and trauma because I've gone through things, but just things that have happened in my past and in my life and stuff. And I don't want this to sound like I've had a rough life. Like there's so many people that have experienced way worse than me, just a little white boy from Nebraska. But I mean, in reality, we all have stuff that we've all had crap happen to us in our lives. So, and on varying levels. So basically, my counselor's giving me resources on how to kind of retune my personality, and so that I'm not living in a state of defensiveness or anger or anxiousness, trying to like be like over prepared all the time. That's another thing. Like I get too worried about things that are way too far in advance. So yeah, it's helping though. Now I have tools, and it's hard to build anything or repair anything without tools. So go get them tools, boys and girls. There's some good tools out there. I've been called a tool before. I'm trying to not be that, but we all have our days. We all got our strugs, you know? We all got our little bit of struggies. Yeah, boy. And I've been doing that Postmates grind. That's been cool. I haven't done it too much the past couple weeks because I got a music video gig coming up with Death Therapy this coming weekend. So that's given me enough finances to survive this month. God bless. And so but I am going to be continuing to grind Postmates because it's been going well. Like, people in Nashville have been tipping me really well, which is like kind of what you rely on. You're kind of like a traveling waiter or waitress, depending on your private parts and situations and stuff. But I happen to be male, so I'm kind of a traveling waiter, and yeah, it's going well. People have been nice overall, and yeah, it's been good. I had one guy that it was like my first couple days of Postmates a couple weeks ago, and I could not find this dude's apartment. Well, it turns out he ordered from his girlfriend's account, and then when I called her, she was like, I did not order Postmates. So she was like freaking out, and then she's like, can I do a 3-way call? I was like, I mean, okay. And like in the middle of that, she's like, beep, and like called her boyfriend. And so I'm on the phone with her and her boyfriend. And I was like, hey man, I'm just trying to find your apartment right now. And he's just like, when you come in, take the first right. And then he hung up. I was like, oh, hello? And so I just like backed it up, drove over there. He was just standing out of his apartment like he just had his chest out and just like, oh. He didn't make that noise, but that was my interpretation from in the car. Just like, oh, I'm gonna beat this kid's butt. And so I brought him his food and I was like, have a good day, man. And he was just stared at me. I was like, geez, man, it's just a taco, boy. Just a freaking chalupa. Yeah, but other than that, it's been good experiences. People have been pretty nice. It's cool because I'm learning Nashville. I'm learning where to go, like finding some cool restaurants. I found one called Rose Pepper Cantina just from doing Postmates, and then me and Lauren went there a couple nights ago. So there's benefits, y'all. And it's looking like a good option. So I'm actually excited just to like really be focusing on YouTube and this podcast, and then using that as my income as we build this thing up, the YouTube and Patreon. I feel like it's a good plan. We're going to see how it works. And soon we're going to be moving this podcast on the road because I'm going on tour with my band, Earth Groans. We're going to play some rock and roll shows all over the United States of America. And I want to see you guys. I would love to see you guys. But so I have this like portable recorder and 2 little handheld microphones. I'm not going to use those dumb wireless microphones. They're pretty crappy. But yeah, I'm excited to bring the podcast on the road. And my goal, I haven't talked to the guys yet, but I would love to do a podcast with each of the 3 other members in my band. And then maybe like a random one where it's either just me or somebody from the other bands. I don't really know. Maybe I'll end up doing a bunch of them. But that's going to be really freaking cool to get some cool people on the podcast, you know, except like, so it's not just me chatting. Also I wanted to shout out my friends Josh and Katie. So I filmed their wedding. I think it was like somewhere between 1 and 7 years ago, and I've only been doing weddings for like 4 years, so it's somewhere in the last decade I filmed their wedding. And Josh said he's been listening to the podcast, so hi Josh, good to see you, man. Actually, I can't see you from here. You can see me. Good to talk to you. But I'm gonna hang out with them in Omaha, I think. So it's gonna be really cool to see. Like, it's cool to like become friends with somebody who was a client and know that you didn't fail them. And it's like, oh, we could be friends. This is great. So we're gonna like get some lunch together and hang out. And I'm just excited to like talk to them outside of just their wedding day and those emails, and like make some new friends. Like, I don't know. I love that. I love the connection that art can bring to us. It's really cool. So here's the cities that I'm going to be going to. I've done this once before, but for any new listeners, this is where I'm coming. So tour is from April 4th to May 4th, and I'm going to go back and put the dates on the screen. So I'm just going to read the cities and the venues that I'm going to. So starting April 4th, we're going to Omaha, Nebraska, my home state, and the venue is the Waiting Room Lounge. It's such a cool. Oh, they spelled lounge wrong on the flyer. It's Lounge, It's Loung. We're playing the Waiting Room Long. So that should be fun. I've never been there, to the Longy. And then we're playing in Des Moines, Iowa at Lefties. That'll be sick. Then we got Madison, Indiana at Madison Metal Fest. Wow, that's going to be great. Lansing, Michigan at Max Bar. Erie, Pennsylvania at Basement Transmissions. That venue freaking rips. We played there with War of Ages. I have a vlog of that. I got to play guitar for their last song because one of their guitar players had to fly home for something. Boy, it was fun, and I could not play their song very well. Then we got Columbus, Ohio at Big Room Bar. Chicago, Chi-Town, Illinois at Reggie's. Then we got Little Rock, Arkansas at TBD, and I think that means that they don't have a venue for that yet. Or maybe the venue's named TBD? I don't know. We got Austin, Texas at Come and Take It Live. Dallas, Texas at 2513 Deep Ellum. That sounds interesting. Then we got Albuquerque, New Mexico at the Jam Spot. We haven't had too many good. Oh man, should I tell this story? I got a story. No, I can't tell it. Yeah. Okay, I won't say anything about the story, but we played with a band there called Dick Thrash. God bless them. Then we're playing El Paso, Texas at Rock House. Oh, shoot. I almost fell off my chair if you're not watching the vid. And then Scottsdale, Arizona at Pub Rock. And then Anaheim, California at Chain Reaction. I can't even get through these. This coffee's good. Oh, man. And then, okay, April 19th, we're playing Sacramento, California at the Holy Diver. The Holy Scuba Diver. Then we got Fresno, California at Full Circle Brewing Co. Salt Lake City, Utah. Kilby Court. Denver, Colorado at Marquee Theater. They spelled that wrong. It's Marquise Theater, apostrophe. Good job. Good job, flyer maker. Then we got Kansas City, Missouri at Davies Uptown. That place rules. St. Louis, Missouri at Fubar. That place I'm scared of. Nashville, Tennessee, The End. Stoked on that. It's my home city. If you live in Nashville and you don't come, I don't blame you. Then we got Raleigh, North Carolina at Emerge. Spelled IMURJ. I don't like that, but we're playing there. Atlanta, Georgia at the Masquerade. That place is amazing. Tampa, Florida at the Crowbar. Love it. There's chickens wandering all around. I got a vlog out. There's a vlog on my channel called Thick Boy Spider-Man, or Spider-Man is a Thick Boy, something like that. And there's chickens all over that town, just kind of wandering around the streets, and they are protected by the government, I guess. So, yeah, go watch that video. It's pretty dumb. Orlando, Florida at the Sound Bar. New Orleans, Louisiana at Gasa Gasa. Is that Gas? What's up, Jaden? My sister just came in. Then we got Memphis, Tennessee at the High Tone. Springfield, Missouri at the Riff. Oh, I'm stoked to play there. I have a friend that works at that venue. Springfield's where I went to college, so I'm just always pumped to be there. And then finally, Tulsa, Oklahoma at the Vanguard. Another really sick venue. A long time ago in college, I went on tour with this band called Stateside, and they are now called Hold Close. They're growing pretty rapidly. I've done quite a few of their music videos, but they used to be called Stateside, and we played at the Vanguard, and I did video for them on that tour, and I was very, very bad at it, and I'm so sorry to them, but thank you for trusting me with your vids all the way up until now. It's wild. So that's what we got. We're traveling around the United States. Please come say hi. I would love to meet you guys. I got to meet quite a few new friends on the last tour we went on, just from like YouTube stuff, and I love that. I love that connection. Jaden, do you want to come say hi? Jaden, do you want to say hi? Yeah. Also, we're gonna end it with this. I went to see Arrested Development is coming back. Jaden, let's just tell the people about Arrested Development. This is my sister. Take a seat.
Whoa. Hey, guys. How's it going?
Go ahead and tell them about Arrested Development.
So Arrested Development is my new obsession TV show, but it's like from 2003?
But it's current still.
And like each season has 3 years in between it, which is completely wild to me, but it keeps you hooked forever. But no, the second half of the 5th season is where's the camera? Oh, there it is. I just had to make eye contact. So the second half of the 5th season is coming out this Friday on March 15th. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I think I've seen the series. I got hooked in maybe October, and I've seen the entire series at least 3 times. And then now I just like spot watch, like pick an episode randomly and obsess over it.
Yeah.
But
beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, God bless you. I'm almost
to
done.
Help me out.
Yeah, help me out here. On Patreon or Apple's or any.
Go watch our old podcast, Rice Fire podcast.
Yep.
You can hear my shenanigans on there. Cool.
Thank you so much. Are you leaving soon or are you staying for a bit?
No, I'm here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll talk to you in a minute.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, yeah, ladies and gents, go away. I'm just kidding. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I would tell you to subscribe, but you're already subscribed. You're already patrons if you're watching this, so thank you so much for being a patron. If you're interested in becoming a patron and helping me survive this thing, go to patreon.com/Zachariah Mayfield, or there's links in whatever description that you're looking at. Just click in a little description. I have all my patrons in the descriptions of my vids and stuff. And also, if I can get this app to not crash, I'm gonna freaking shout these patrons out, babies. Okay, so we got Chris House, Jennifer Mayfield. That's my mother. She gave birth to me. Thank you, Mom. Jared McCoskey, Reagan Carriere, Tyler Beakley, Perry Mulder. There's so many new names in here. Thank you guys so much. Josh Carlin, Banks Nash, Jonathan Lane. I went to college with him. He's a homeboy. Tony Stanton, Kyle Schaefer. It's my cousin. Hannah Markley, Jason Hackworth, Andrew. Still don't know Andrew's last name, but God bless him. Michael Mayfield, Kevin Johnson, Devin Nicole, Brandon Anderson, Christian Reddle, Noah Watson, Elisha Ruman, Thought Ray, my boy, Brandon Steger, and Michael freaking Weeble. Thank you guys so much for being patrons. We're growing this thing. It's going to happen. This is the year. This is the year. I got my got clean jeans on, so my butt is just feeling sucked in. It's feeling good. It's feeling confident. That's all I got. Love you guys so much. We'll see you. Oh, what episode is this? Is this 13? We'll see you in 14. Unless I'm wrong, then we'll see you in whatever number is sequential to this current one.